Hello everybody, it's Philly Kuts with another comic book haul. I'm going to call this number 50, even though technically it's number 49, because I missed a week. But I'm going to go back and I'm going to do number 49 and put it out after this one. How does that make sense for you folks? Because I want to keep the weeks, you know, continuous, right? Continuity, all that good stuff. Anyway, I was on vacation up in Maine. I was up in Portland, Maine area. I went to Portland. I went to Booth Bay Harbor, Damariscotta, Cape Elizabeth. I saw some really cool lighthouses. I saw some great rocky shorelines. It was great weather pretty much the whole time I was up there. And on the last day when I had to drive back with my girlfriend, we got some rain. But that was okay because it was kind of cool in the morning. You got this nice, like, misty, foggy Maine morning, you know, and it was pretty cool. I felt like I was in like a Stephen King book or something, you know, but I had a really great time. I went to a great comic book shop again when I was up there, and if you're ever in the Portland area, you got to check it out. Just Google it for the address, because I don't think I'm going to be inserting overlays in this video. Coast City Comics, man, and the guy that runs it is Tristan. Awesome store, huge selection. It's like 3 times the size of the store that I go to in Albany on a regular basis, which is Earthworld Comics. Huge. And in the back they have an awesome pinball arcade. There was something like 6 or 7 different pinball machines. I think they had a Batman one, they had a Star Trek one, I think they had a Simpsons one or something, or they might have had a Simpsons video game. I don't remember. But it was awesome. It was awesome. So I did get some books. I did do week number 49 when I was up there, so maybe I should be, well, I will be throwing that up probably on this weekend. So, all right, this week, what did I get first? I got some comic book supplies, man. I got 200 bags and 200 comic book boards. Exciting, exciting. I don't know if I got a good price. They were $9 for the boards, $5 for the bags. So that's another thing I'm going to be doing this weekend. I'm sure I'm going to use all these up and have to buy some more books, more boards for my books. Whatever, man. This is essentially live, so there's mistakes. All right, let's get going. I got about 10 books this week. Starting with DC as always, because I'm mainly a DC guy. Those are the books that I mainly get. Starting off with Aquaman, number 43. What do you guys think of lighting? I didn't turn on any lights. It's about 6 o'clock. I can't even get the watch in here. Yep, 6 o'clock, 6:15. Natural lighting. What do you guys think? Anyway, Aquaman, number 43. Cullen Bunn, still at the helm of the writing duties. And McCarthy is the artist. Lots of mixed reviews about the art. I'm one of them as well. The artwork is just kind of strange. It's like this is all supposed to be taking place underwater, and most of it has like this Dave Stewart kind of Mike Mignola look to it, you know? It's just kind of really dark and heavily inked and penciled. Anyway, the story continues with this old Atlantis encroaching on the new Atlantis. There's kind of a flashback story going on here. Aquaman meets Poseidon. I don't know if it was for the first time. Probably not. But he has like a big showdown with Poseidon. Some of Aquaman's new powers are explained. Aquaman's sweetheart and honey, Mera, has assembled a team to go after him. And that's what I'm really disappointed, because Aquaman and Mera are like a great, you know, superhero couple. And they've kind of been broken up again, and it's kind of like weird and bizarre, and it's just kind of a shame. And I guess from what I understand, that this kind of storyline has been visited before, so I guess lots of Aquaman fans are disappointed about that. It's still kind of new to me because I'm new to Aquaman, so I'm just disappointed that they're not together, because they just had such passion and fire, you know, they were really invested and in love with one another, so it's just kind of strange. She assembled like this team to go after him. However, Aquaman and this team of assassins that's after him are in deep shit, because this huge stone-like creature has arisen from the bottom of the ocean. There he is there in the distance. And this thing just does not give a you-know-what about Aquaman, about the team of assassins. He's just out to kill whoever. So Aquaman and the team of assassins unite. Look at how cute the shark guy is. Do you see him? Doesn't he remind you of that Katy Perry Super Bowl halftime show with the sharks that were waving and stuff? And that's all I kept thinking about when I saw that shark dude. I don't know his name, but he's just kind of cute. Look at him. He's just kind of a cute dude. Anyway, Aquaman 43. I'm going to keep rolling. I've read through all my Aquaman books, the trades that I got, and I'm going to start this one. Aquaman Maelstrom. Maelstrom? I can't say it. Oh my god. Whatever, dude. Alright, Sinestro, number 14. Sinestro Rising, and that's appropriate because the Green Lanterns are gone, right? They're in another dimension, at the end of the universe, wherever they are. They've disappeared from the present universe. Basically, when the cat's away, the mouse shall play. And Sinestro the mouse has been growing his army of Red Lanterns. In this issue, there is a Yellow Lantern, named Nax, who he finds on this abandoned planet. There's Nax kind of chilling, just hanging out, waiting for some action. She has a special power that Sinestro is very interested in. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it may have some big implications for the paling that is going on. What is the paling? Well, the paling is these beings are able to eliminate a sentient being's emotions, and it kind of renders them into like this stone state, because it just basically extracts them of all their emotions and puts them in a state of comatoseness, if that's even a word. But other interesting things are going on here as well. Sinestro is also building an army of Yellow Lantern manhunters. And check it out, man. It's like the Oscar statues going wild. Yellow Lantern manhunters. And that's to serve as like his backup crew in case some kind of shit goes on. And there's just a lot of interesting stuff in here. Sinestro has taken a personal interest in training Nax. And then he partners Nax up with his recently green-turned Yellow Lantern daughter. I can't remember her name. Soranak? Yeah, Soranik. So he pairs her up with her, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes in the future. I'm really enjoying Sinestro. Check it out. I like that it's all linked to what's going on in Green Lantern Lost Army and Green Lantern. And it's going to be interesting when all these three titles seem to meet in the middle, which definitely seems where we are headed with all those titles. So be cool to check out. Okay, speaking of super couples that have been disbanded as a result of New 52 madness, although now we no longer call it New 52, but Spider-Man Lois Lane saga continues. Lois Lane has learned the truth about Superman being Clark Kent and Superman. Can she go on with knowing these two identities? Can she have a normal life and not kind of sell Superman, aka Clark Kent, out? Interesting stuff. You still have the villain Hoarder Rootin here, who's not really any big deal. I don't really see too much going on. But there's a lot of emotional dialogue and interaction between Superman or Clark Kent and Lois Lane, whatever you want to call him. I guess when he doesn't have the suit on, he's Clark Kent, right? I forget what his Kryptonian name is. What the hell is it? Kal-El or something? Just lots of emotional stuff. You know, they're crying. There's tears. So I guess, you know, it's going to be some pretty interesting stuff. This is written by Jean Lu Yang, who's the writer, and they always love to point out that he's the Chinese-American writer. Like, what? Why do they keep pointing that out? I don't get it. Like, if he was just Chinese, like, people wouldn't buy it? Yeah, I don't get why they're pointing that out all the time. But anyway, Harley Quinn, number 19. This is the bombshell variant cover, as you can see. And then also this was a bombshell variant cover too. Notice it's Supergirl on the cover there. But I had to get this cover with Harley Quinn. That's great. I almost want to put it up in my office, but I don't think that'd be a good idea, considering where I work. Anyway, basically Harley Quinn is doing battle against this dude named Horatio Strong, who basically is a ripoff of Popeye the Sailor Man. Notice the anchor tattoos, the huge hulking forearms. He basically has an addiction to this alien-like seaweed. And the seaweed has given him special powers. You do have the gang of Harleys going on in here too, which I just feel is totally unnecessary. I don't really, haven't really been getting into the whole gang of Harley thing. It almost reminds me of it being kind of like a Spider-Verse ripoff. I think I've mentioned that before. And while I did love the whole Spider-Verse storyline, it got to be very, very confusing due to the sheer number of spiders that were involved in that book. And it's kind of like the same thing. Actually, I think there's another variant cover of Harley Quinn where it kind of shows like a Brady Bunch-like cover of all the faces of all the different Harleys. And it's just hard to keep up, and none of them have really stuck out for me. Again, it's the team of Palmaletti and Connor. The artwork is impeccable. That's something that I really love. And you gotta love the roped thong. I might be giving a lot away there of, yeah. Anyway, Harley Quinn. She's a busy woman, folks. All right, Marvel. I only got 2 titles this week from Marvel. Lando, and I think that this came out 2 weeks, because I think my last haul I did a Lando review. Great book. Alex Maleev is on point with the artwork. Uncanny. I'm going to keep saying it every issue. It's just uncanny how good Lando looks. Just like a young Billy D. Williams. Check him out. Colt 45, malt liquor, folks. Just great. Lando's essentially stolen a special cruiser Imperial yacht, and it belongs to the Emperor. Emperor's pissed off, going after Lando. Lando's thought he's made a good getaway. He's got his longtime buddy with him. What the hell's his name? Lobot, that guy with the Bluetooth kind of headset on his head, super big Bluetooth headset, and a couple clones that are great warriors. They actually do battle against some of the Emperor's guards in here, so there's a bit of a showdown there. Pretty good action sequence. There's a special appearance by some Ugnaughts. If you don't remember who the Ugnaughts were, remember in The Empire Strikes Back when Han Solo was getting frozen into carbonite and you had these little, like, pig dwarf dudes with suitcases and stuff? Those were the Ugnaughts, and I guess they have an ally who was an Ugnaught. I've always been interested in those dudes, right? There's always been certain creatures in Star Wars that I've been really interested in. Bib Fortuna's one. I've always had an affinity for Bib Fortuna. Always had an affinity for Jawas. Always liked Ugnaughts. Tell me, people, what Star Wars creatures have you just had a thing for? Let me know, man, because I'm getting excited. We're only 4 months away now from the new Star Wars movie coming out, and I gotta say, check Lando out. I think it's Charles Soule. Yes, Charles Soule really captures the voice, I feel, of Lando Calrissian. He really gets him down to being like a real conniving but ultra confident swindler. He's just really captured his voice, and it's just a pleasant read. And I'm hoping that Lando gets away with it. I'm sure he will. I'm sure it's a little bit anticlimactic, but I think it's only a 5-part miniseries, so we're already on issue number 3. Now, speaking of series ending, I did not know this. Last Days of Spider-Woman. Apparently, this is the last issue of Spider-Woman. So now, what am I going to do? Punisher just ended as well. They didn't have any plans slated for Punisher after Secret Wars. But apparently, fear not, Spider-Woman is going to return. They do give a little summary in the back here of the plans of what's going on. And it looks like she's going to return, I think, with a baby. So that should be interesting. I'm not sure exactly when they're going to reboot the series. I don't know if it's happening like right after Secret Wars, which is coming up very soon. But I really enjoy Spider-Woman, and I want to keep buying it. It's almost like I feel it's Marvel's version of Harley Quinn. Because you have a character who's kind of a bit, you know, self-deprecating. She's smart. She's witty. She's got a lot of cool powers. She has a team behind her. There's the Porcupine. He's not in a suit. The guy with the chainsaw. And this reporter who gives her cases. Oh, God, I can't remember his name. But we all know that I never remember names. But she kind of has this, like, team of fuck-ups, so to say, behind her. And especially the Porcupine. The Porcupine is just, at least in the last issue, he was just a helpless lunk of futility. I mean, he just could not get anything done right. But just a really endearing kind of crew. There's Porcupine right there. And I really fell for Spider-Woman. You know, I felt like everybody was all hooked on Spider-Gwen, and everybody was so hyped up about Spider-Gwen coming out, and blah, blah, blah. I did read a couple of Spider-Gwen books. Or actually, I think I just read one on the Edge of Spider-Verse, and I wasn't really... Spider-Gwen didn't really do it for me. Spider-Woman did. Kind of a weird situation for Spider-Woman. She left the Avengers. The series started right at the start of Spider-Verse. That was like the first 4 issues of this series that had to deal with Spider-Verse. So it only got up to issue number 10, and this volume ended. So she's in this western town somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. I think it's in Texas, maybe. And it's kind of a showdown between her and an evil sheriff, and the people there are like zombies or something. And pretty much we'll have to see what happens with Miss Drew, a.k.a. Spider-Woman, and if she can get through it. But check it out, man. If they do put out a couple trades, I suggest you pick it up. It's a good read. It's funny. It's more lighthearted. And it's kind of like Spider-Woman going from Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Miss Avenger, you know, these big teams that she's been a part of, and I have to save the universe, to kind of downplaying herself and being more of a crusader at the street level. You know, fighting street crime and things of that nature. And it worked. So I'm glad that they're going to be bringing it back, and I'll be sure to read it. So, pretty cool. And, well, anyway, that's for another video. Whatever. Alright, Hellboy, Dark Horse, Hellboy in Hell, number 7, Hounds of Pluto, part 1 of 2. I'm just jumping in on the Hellboy in Hell series, so I don't know. I'll probably pick up the trade. I think they have 1 through 6 in trade already. Hellboy is sick. He's dead. He's in hell, but he's sick. There's some sort of parasite that has latched onto him, or is inside of him, and it if left to fester, it's going to cause him great suffering. However, there are a couple doctors who can help Hellboy, but Hellboy's got to do something for him. I'm not going to tell you what. Now, if Hellboy does allow this parasite to fester, he will become one of the soulless husks that infest hell and are howling on the shores of hell. They're like these guys right here. And they just kind of hang out on the shore and just kind of scream and, meander about on the beach. Mike Mignola's doing the writing and the artwork in this. Dave Stewart's doing the coloring. And you got to love it when Mike Mignola is doing the artwork. You always kind of forget how dark and pronounced the blacks are in this. It's like having a TV with a great contrast ratio, right? I mean, you kind of forget how much black space Mignola puts in his artwork, as opposed to Herron, James Herron. So it's a good treat. I'm curious to find out what happens to Hellboy and what's the cure is and what it is that he's going to have to do. All right. Rumble. This is the John Arcudi, James Herron, Dave Stewart. It's kind of like a Hellboy team, right? Rumble. Number 6. It's been on hiatus for a couple months. New story arc, but they're saying that this is a standalone story. The first chapter is a standalone story. I don't know. I don't get it, but they said that you don't really need to know too much about everything else to get into this. And basically, Rathraq, I'm trying to remember. I haven't read this in a couple months, but this guy here on the cover, he's a scarecrow. But he's a soul of a being that has inhabited a scarecrow. His actual body is on another place, like another planet or another dimension. I can't quite remember. He has some stuff that he has to do in order to get his body back. And it's just kind of a great book. Lots of creatures. The artwork is great. I love James Herron. I actually prefer him over Mike Mignola for the artwork. Lots of creatures, lots of battles. This scarecrow, Rathraq, has teamed up too with a couple of guys from planet Earth who are kind of fuck-ups themselves. But they help each other out. And I'm curious to see how this turns out. I'm probably going to have to revisit 1 through 6 again, or 1 through 5, to kind of try to remember what is going on, because I don't quite remember. I'm sorry, folks. I'm only human, and I'm sure that every one of you out there runs into the same problem as me. Unless you are in the habit of reading and rereading your comics all the time, all right? Rasputin, number 8. Alex Grecian. Alex Maleev. No. Riley Rosmo, the artwork. Sorry, why did I say Alex Maleev? Another Rasputin book where there is not a ton of dialogue. I guess what I showed you, there was a lot of dialogue, but then there's a ton of pages where it's kind of like this. You know, amazing artwork, amazing coloring. But again, that's my main complaint is that you have a book that literally has pages and pages where there is just no dialogue. And I'm just feeling like a jackass keep buying this when literally I'm probably going to be able to read this in like 3 minutes. And the back half of the book, literally, like, there's like 10 pages that have nothing to do with the Rasputin story. So it's been kind of pissing me off, and I'm thinking I'll probably finish this story arc out, because I think it's like the third issue in, and then if I am so inclined, I'm probably going to trade wait for now on for this book and order it online at a really cheap price, because it's just not worth the quick read. It's just literally not. I mean, look, there's another page. I mean, beautiful. I mean, the artwork's beautiful. The coloring's beautiful. I love that. But, you know, I'm not the type that sits and stares at a page in a comic book for minutes on end, you know. I might look at it for like 5 seconds at most, maybe. I don't know. What about you guys? Anyway, you find out in here, did Rasputin's friends who kind of tried to murder him and kill him back in the day, were they the ones that really did it? Is that what they were intending to do? What happened? How did Rasputin survive? I guess you get some answers in here. And it's kind of doing this weird shifting thing where we're going back to the age of Rasputin, which I don't even know was, what, 100-something years ago, to present day where Rasputin is working on some sort of political campaign. So you got all that kind of weirdness going on, but hey, who am I to say? All right, dudes, and finally, another Image comic. We have Sons of the Devil. This is a variant cover. I'm not freaking sure what this is supposed to be, because unbeknownst to me, my comic book shop didn't have it, but they had another Sons of the Devil variant cover that was a play on The Exorcist. You know, the classic image where Father Merrin, the Exorcist, is going up to see Reagan and he's in the street light. You know, that classic freaking picture. I might have it. Hold on, man. I might have it. Hold on. Shit. Where is it? No, I don't have it. Damn it. My Exorcist Special Edition has the staircase. Remember the staircase? Fuck, I thought for sure that they had the street light. God damn it. That famous street light picture. There it is. Okay, in the little book that it came. So they had a variant cover that had the classic picture. And I was like, fuck, man. I didn't know if it was like one of the variant covers that were more money. But my shop did not have it. Because my process is, even though I never buy the more expensive variant covers, I always take a look at them and see what they have. You know, they're always nice to look at. But I kind of refuse to pay more for those variant covers. And they definitely didn't have it. So I don't know if this is another one that's of another movie. I don't know. It kind of looks like a Jake Gyllenhaal, some kind of creeper movie or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I'll be honest with you. I'm behind in this series. I didn't read number 3. But if you like cults, if you like satanic devil worship, and all the stuff that comes with it, you'll love this book. Main character, I can't remember his name, of course, is an orphan, and his parents, I guess, had some sort of involvement with a cult. Look at how scary that is. Scariest movie ever, folks. I'm going to have to do a review of The Exorcist sometime. But anyway, so he has some sort of involvement with this cult from his childhood, and memories and pieces of it are coming back together. It's by Brian Buccellato, who's done a lot of work on Detective Comics, so it does have a very gritty and dark feel. The artwork by Tony Infante definitely suits the suits the anxiety that the character feels. You know, it kind of has like this frantic like penciling, and it just works. You know, you can tell that the main character in this is under a lot of pressure. He's feeling like a lot of anxiety. He's depressed, and I just feel that Infante, the style in which Infante has done this really, really works. The funny thing is that the main character too goes to an orphans like support group. And the facilitator, the leader of this support group, has involvement with the cult, which is really, really cool. And all the people that are involved in this cult, I guess they have 2 different colored eyes. They have like a red eye and a blue eye. And in order to, go undetected, this counselor has like a contact lens that, contact lenses that make his eyes look normal. So check it out, even though I don't really remember it. It is a fun read. I'm probably going to stick with it, and I'll probably catch up on it this weekend. All right, dudes, it's another comic book haul in the books. Let me know what books you got. What are you liking? What are you disliking? Why? Let me know. And it's good to be back, and maybe I'll come up with an update video, because I do have some ideas of some different things that I want to do with the comic book haul, and I hope to kind of change the settings here too. I'm gonna bag and board a lot of my books, and then I'm thinking of designating a certain area of my apartment where I'm gonna hang some of my books up, so it will just kind of have a cooler background. But it may come at the price of the microphone, so I don't know. I'm still, because I'm not gonna be able to set up my microphone wherever it is that I go, but we'll figure it out. All right, dudes. Peace. Bye. Ooh, burped.